As someone who was a late bloomer.
How late, baby?
How late, baby? So I lost my virginity at 23.
Porn makes women an object of sex rather than active participants.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I was 37 and a virgin and I'm trying to get rid of that shit, first thing first, I ain't telling nobody.
No.
I'm not telling nobody until you are madly in love with me and we up in the bed in the sheets, and then I'm gonna have to be like,
By the way, this is my first.
this is my first time, baby. Go slow. Go easy on me. Don't hurt me. I'm scared.
Okay. Yeah.
He gonna think it's some role play. Then I'm gonna be like, wait a minute.
Ow! Oh, that hurt. Oh, shit.
And then it's done. Sexual experiences are formative for us.
Yeah.
And your first experience should be something that you are consenting to.
Yes.
Should be something that is based off of mutual respect. And should be something that you can learn from.
Yeah. And
That's
hopefully enjoyable. But
Yeah. We are longtime friends turned lovers, here for all things love, dating, and relationships. Lovers Watch is a podcast where we explore how the love and relationships we observe on screens influence the love and relationships we experience in our own lives.
From romance sitcoms to reality dating shows, we're mining through the mess to bring you the gems and help make sense of this crazy little thing called love. So, whether you watch these shows or not, if you love love, you're in the right place.
Hello and welcome to Lovers Watch.
Hello. I am your host, Sam, and beside me is my little strawberry licorice.
Hi, I'm your co-host, YoVanna.
And today we are talking about Virgins, Season 1, Episode 1.
If you don't know, now you know. Okay, so just as a preface, like the concept of this show, Virgins, is exploring the lives of adult virgins who are interested in having sex,
Indeed.
struggling to have sex for various reasons, and we watch them on their journey to activate their sexual lives.
Yes.
And also, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Join our little love squad. We are trying to build something special here and would love to have you in our community as we continue to grow. What gems did you mine from this episode?
I would like to know, as a society, can we evolve past the concept of virginity? You know,
I hope so.
hopefully. And yourself, my dear.
Should we be confessing our sexual history early in dating? Should that be an expectation that we have of the folks that we're getting to know romantically?
We will get into it.
We like to start off the show with a hot take. Sam, baby, what's your hot take?
So, my hot take is, this might not be everyone's experience, but for those that it does relate to, we should start calling our parents and telling them about random people who have died.
What?
My mother is notorious for hitting me up and being like, baby, have you heard about so-and-so? You know, they held you when you were 3 years old. You know, you remember them? They died. You know, so I'm saying we should do that as revenge. Just about people they would have no idea who they are. Like, I mean, not to put anybody.
Mama, Chris Hemsworth is dead.
He died in a fireboat accident. And it's just terrible. And she'd be like, who the fuck is Chris Hemsworth? And
All right, you have a good day now.
I'd be like, you know, the guy from the Love and Thunder and the thing. You remember, you saw that one.
You seen that one movie that one time.
Like, baby,
He's dead.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I was like, nah, well, it's just terrible and whatnot. Anyway, call me some more. Bye. We should get revenge on them with that. Yes.
Yeah,
That's my
I
hot
agree.
take. Indeed.
All right.
What about you, my dear?
Socks or foot prison? Socks are prison for your feet, for my feet. And I think they should all be burnt. I don't like to wear closed-toed shoes without socks, but I hate socks more than I hate closed-toed shoes without socks. I need my feet to be free. Anything encapsulating my feet is foot prison. And as an industry, I think big sock needs to be taken down.
Big sock?
It's got to go.
You sound like a toddler who hates their onesie It is like, free my feet. I want to have pajamas
I could never
without
wear
feet.
I could never wear footsie pajamas when I was a kid because I can't have my feet trapped.
That's like the best part of being a toddler.
Also, I can't use a sleeping bag because I can't have my feet trapped into any sort of. I can't do it. Anyway,
I want you all to know this makes sleeping together very difficult because I like having my feet covered because I'm not a psychopath who wants someone to grab their feet.
You scared of a little monster?
I'm just saying, it's ingrained in us when we were younger, and it's pretty normal.
You sound like a punk ass to me.
And you sound like a psychopath. Yes, uncover my feet. Leave my feet dangling off the bed. You're crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, big sock. You're stupid.
All right. Let's get into this thing. So this season we're following 4 different folks.
Mm-hmm. All different backgrounds, all different walks of life, but somehow they are all virgins, and we will find out how that's faring for them.
So we start off with our girl Rasha.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Rasha, and I'm 42 years old, and I live in Jacksonville, Florida. You heard that right. 42, and Big Purr has never seen any action.
She's my favorite. I really like her. I find myself smiling when I listen to her speak and every time she's talking, basically. Rasha is 42 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She has never made out. She's never been touched. She is divorced.
A divorced 42-year-old virgin.
Virgin.
Yes, I said virgin.
She's never been on a date.
Mm.
And essentially what is holding her back is that she is terrified of being used sexually. And I think she also, or she says clearly that she has a lot of body image issues that have prevented her from having that kind of intimacy with anyone before.
Yeah.
She's so charismatic and she seems very outgoing. She's so silly.
Yeah. As we see in the show, like she has like pretty good social skills.
Unlike the other 3 people, we see that Rasha is very capable of being a social human being.
Yep, she's funny, she's quirky, she's like as we'll see, she's a little hoe in disguise.
I need to get tied up. I need to get spanked. It's steamy. It's stank.
Yeah, she is like the epitome of like what you would think of someone who is 42 years old, a virgin, but they real horny. They're real horny.
She is like, it's funny that she has such a positive relationship with like sex and sexuality.
Yeah.
Given that she has no experience. But it doesn't seem that she is driven by fear, which we can see in some of the other people.
Yes.
So we basically start off this episode with Rasha seeking out a sex therapist. And they do a sort of fantasy exercise where we learn that Rasha's interested in being dominated. She likes the idea of like submissive, dominant, and she has a very vivid imagination and has clearly spent a lot of time thinking about sex.
So you're ready to have sex?
Damn. Rasha, what are you saying?
Yeah, and I think her attitude towards sex is also reflected by her sex therapist. Her therapist is like very fun, like very good energy, and she's like making jokes along with her.
Yeah.
Where Rasha's like, "Yeah, man, I want a man who gonna eat it up," and the therapist is like, "Oh, he eating?
Oh, he eating?
Oh, he getting food? Oh, he getting."
I mean, I guess he's hungry.
Oh, so he eating.
You know what I'm saying? Real good.
He getting full.
Real good.
Okay.
We see them have this very playful exchange that's super lighthearted. But the therapist also does a really good job of digging into these questions and you know, how do you have
Like,
such a specific fantasy with such little experience?
Exactly.
It's interesting that you're like, your inclination is towards domination when you haven't had any experiences.
Yeah, and she's like, "I watched a lot of porn,"
which I think in the absence of sexual experience is something that can aid in you like exploring what you might be interested in. It has to be, it's like a tricky.
As a late bloomer myself, yeah, my relationship with porn was like understanding that porn is porn. Like it's a different realm, it's not reality. But if you are aware of that, you can then look at it as like, okay, I'm seeing like ways to at least navigate a situation I don't have any experience with yet, but I'm able to at least understand how to navigate this in a way where I'm feeding my own, like, for lack of a better word, education.
No, curiosity.
Curiosity, but also education. Because like in the absence of like actually practicing something,
Yeah.
like I'm at the very least like learning that like this is, I'm learning from people. Because I mean, again, if you're looking at porn to be like, oh, this is like how it's going to be exactly, that's when it gets a little, don't watch too much porn. But I think there is an educational component of it in the absence of actual practice.
I think
If you're looking at it healthily.
I think it should be more exposure than education, but
Sure.
if you don't have access to real
Mhm.
experience and opportunities, then
Yeah.
it can end up being educational, which I do think there can be some sort of danger to that.
It's danger if you think what you see is what it's going to be like. I
And
think.
what you're going to do specifically, because
Yeah.
porn very frequently centers male pleasure, male dominance. Like porn makes women an object of sex rather than active participants.
Yeah, for the most part, I think you have
Unless
to be.
you're watching lesbian porn.
I mean, yeah, there's that. Yeah, I think again, you have to have certain concepts kind of like nailed down. Like you have to understand like consent. You have to understand like giving pleasure and receiving pleasure and not just, having it be a one-sided ordeal. Like you have to understand those concepts.
Right.
And then it can move on to a thing where it's like, okay, this is, like you said, feeding my curiosity.
Right.
Or getting a very thin level of education about something that you don't really know, especially when you're in your big ages of 42.
42 is so wild, especially considering that she was married. She was
Yeah.
married to a foreign exchange student.
A very 90-day fiance situation.
It was very much like they met on an app.
Yeah.
And then they texted and talked for like 5 years, and she basically fell in love with this guy virtually, and then she wanted to help him stay in the country because she thought that they were in love. He moved in with her.
And basically just straight up rejection.
Straight up rejection. They never slept together. They didn't sleep in the same room, bed together. He slept in the living room. She slept in the bed. And the marriage really damaged her self-image, her self-confidence. But I'm excited to see where she goes in this season. I think that it's going to be really fun to watch her explore sex and sexuality at her big age.
Yeah, I think like for her, what's nice about her is we get to watch her like explore her. This show is about them like being able to have sex basically, and we're able to see her just explore the side of like the fun side of sex and be like, oh, I want to explore my curiosity, my little kinkiness or whatever, like what I think is there. We get to watch her do that, as opposed to some of the other people who were still getting to the concept of like sex itself. Like we're not in the fun part, but moving like just the concept of sex basically.
And I think something else that I appreciate about Rasha is she has a very clear idea of like, I want to have a sexual experience with someone that deserves me.
Yeah.
But it isn't like she's putting so much weight in like I have to find the one in order to have sex. She's essentially looking for someone that she can have a connection with, and that connection can be built on respect and like desire, but there's not so much weight of like I have to find the perfect person. She wants it to be special, but it doesn't have to be the perfect person that she's going to spend the rest of her life with in order to have this experience at 42 years old, because she's also very horny. She wants to have this experience, and she should. I want this for her so much.
Yeah, it is nice to see her actually just say like, this is something I want. I want it with the right person, but not the perfect person, not the one. And it's nice to juxtapose her with our next person, Sonali, who is the epitome of someone who says this needs to be perfect.
Like literally Disney princess type.
My name is Sonali Chandra. I am 37 years young and I'm a virgin. I believe I'm still a virgin. Number one, because I can't just do it with any guy.
At her big ass age of 37
She
years
is
old.
37 years old. Yes, she has never had an orgasm.
Never watched porn or even read erotica.
She admittedly says she falls in love at the first kiss. So that right there just shows us that like you have built up so much like just weight,
Expectation around
expectation, like
any sort of encounter, romantic encounter that you have.
Yeah.
This woman has never masturbated. She refers to sex as making love. She's
love.
uncomfortable saying sex. She
she
either
said,
says sexual
at
intercourse.
this point in my life, I do not like referring to it as sex.
It's either making love or sexual intercourse.
Yes.
And for me, it stood out very quickly that basically fear is fear rules this woman's world. She is scared of everything. She's scared of STIs. She's scared of penetration. She's scared of tampons. She is so scared of sex.
And as we learned, there is a cultural component to this. She herself was born in the United States, raised in the United States. However, her father, who was the patriarch of her family, raised her like she was back in India for the most part.
It's a very strict, traditional Indian upbringing.
Patriarchal. It basically sounds like, from our understanding that like her father's priority was controlling her virginity
and
for the most part.
He did that damn thing. There was no dating.
Good job, Dad.
No socializing, no prom, no sleepovers. Like there was not even an opportunity for your girl to sneak out and have these experiences on her own terms, because it sounds like he helicoptered her ass and hovered well into her life, which and then she shares like she eventually refused an arranged marriage.
Oh yeah.
For good reason.
Like it's like we mentioned this in the episode before, where it's like our parents, to an extent, they don't prepare us for like the real world, to an extent of like dating, social interactions, sex in general,
relationships.
They don't talk about these things because it's uncomfortable for them.
And then they have these huge expectations.
Where my grandbaby's at? It's like,
right.
What?
Are you going to marry this man because it's time for you to get married? And she's like, you never even let me date growing up. Yeah. And now you want me to marry a stranger? Absolutely not. So I commend her for being able to draw that boundary.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because it does make sense.
But we see the programming still being very intact in her psyche, because like she is very repressed and very, I would say, stunted at her age of 37, because everything, like I think she mentioned like either late teens or early 20s, where she was like, oh, the concept of having sex before marriage is a thing.
To this day, I have not inserted anything in my vagina.
Yeah, it seems like she has a really hard time connecting with men and carrying conversations with men. Yeah. I think she's like holding this weight of having to confess that she's a virgin, which is like preventing her from having even a conversation with someone, because it feels like she's fixating on like, okay, when do I say it? When did I tell them? When do I say it? The whole time. Yeah. And is then like enabled to even engage with people.
Yeah, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy where she feels the weight and pressure of her virginity, of her like repression basically. But then that weight, other people can feel it basically, and it makes them reject her and or say, hey, I'm not comfortable with this because like you're putting so much weight behind this, that she ends up being rejected in the very end. So it's a lot of weight, like you said, she's putting behind it. And on top of that, she has a lot of, like you said, like Disney princess ideas around like who this person is going to ultimately be.
You can't be a princess at 37 years old.
Girl, you gotta let reality sink in, because like I think, again, like she mentioned, she falls in love after one kiss. And that makes sense if you've never had like real experience before 37.
Yeah, if you're like 14 and you're Taylor Swift and you're making songs on your guitar about how you got kissed and now you love this man, absolutely. But when you're a 37-year-old woman,
there's other life experience that you should have, I think, that should make you realize that like I have these ideas and these fairy tales, but that's not the reality of the world. But again, she does have these ideas and these like really strict, methodologies of finding someone. She mentions that like he can't have a beard because like kissing a man with a beard is like, you know, kissing a goat basically. He can't have a belly. How dare he have a belly and approach me? It's like very, very strict ideas that are going to end up not getting her what she wants.
He has to be over 5'8" because I'm 5'8" without any heels. I would want him to be a sharp dresser. This guy makes my heart melt. Tattoos are okay, but not too many. Deal breakers. Extreme profanity. Bad breath, snoring. No, thank you.
Yeah, and I think going back to the fact that like even a kiss holds so much weight for
Yes.
her. Logistically, like how are you supposed to get to the point where you're making love if you can't even get past kissing?
Yeah.
I was 26 years young when I had my first kiss. I've only let 6 men kiss me, and yes, each and every time I did fall in love.
Which is like, it sounds like sex is something that happens to her. It's not something that she does or she chooses actively. She doesn't get to participate. It happens to her. And with a mentality like that, you're obviously not going to be able to have these experiences that you want in the fucking real world with another adult.
Yeah. Which it goes back to her upbringing where it feels like that's like the kind of the idea her dad put in her head where it's like, this thing happens to you and everything I am doing is going to stop someone from doing this thing to you. Like you're never going to be an active participant. Like your pleasure is never centered. It's just a thing that happens. And that it's my job as your dad to like hold on to the last second or give you to the right person for it to happen to.
Daddy did her a disservice. And the thing
dirty.
that seems like hard to grapple with is she is not explicitly saying like there was a religious expectation. She hasn't communicated that she's waiting until marriage.
No.
She's waiting for something special. She's waiting for her Prince Charming to come along, but it doesn't seem like the stipulation is marriage. Right? So it's like there is this cultural component.
Yeah.
But she also wants to have this experience and she's not letting herself without even having like a hard, steadfast sort of rule or guiding morality or premise that prevents her from doing the thing.
Yeah, I mean, as we see in the show, it feels like her guiding principle is her fear. Like her fear
And her delusion.
and her delusion.
You do not need a vision board to have sex. Just go have sex.
Her vision board was very scary.
We do see that she takes a big step that's to confront her fear, and she goes to meet with a pelvic floor therapist and, you know, can acknowledge herself that her pain is fear-based.
Yes.
And essentially the doctor sends her home with some dilators and a vaginismus diagnosis.
Yeah. Which again is like a very physical manifestation of the self-fulfilling prophecy that she's put herself into, where she's been so scared of having sex that now her body is responding to that fear, where she has vaginismus, where it's like your muscles are like, we're going to protect ourselves and be so tense nothing can get in here.
Right. So there is a tightening happening that is so intense that it causes pain. And then when the pain happens, things tighten even further, right? So for her, this virginity barrier is not only mental.
It is now physical.
It is now physical as well.
Indeed.
And she shoots herself in the foot time after time on these dates, basically telling these men like, I'm a virgin. And then she says like, this is what always happens, right?
Yeah.
Like
This is where every date ultimately leads. I tell the guy I am still a virgin and he is no longer interested in me.
like, just stop. Don't tell them. Why are you telling them on the first date?
Yeah. And it's like, girl, you don't have to you don't have to snitch on yourself right now.
Not on the first date.
Like, if you're going to be awkward, at least make them think you're awkward because you're quirky, not because you're a little nerd virgin.
Let them niggas fall in love with you first.
Or, yeah,
Trap they
enjoy your
ass.
personality and, like, see your delusional self for who you really are before they find out you're a virgin.
Listen, honestly, if I was 37 and a virgin and I'm trying to get rid of that shit, first thing first, I ain't telling nobody.
No.
I'm not telling nobody until you are madly in love with me, and we up in the bed in the sheets, and then I'm gonna have to be like,
By the way, this is my first
time, baby. Go slow.
He'd be like, all right, you just saying that shit. And you'd be like, no, dead ass. Like,
No. I wouldn't even do all that. I'd be like, oh, baby, this is my first time. Go easy on me. Don't hurt me. I'm scared.
Okay. Yeah.
He gonna think it's some role play. Then I'm gonna be like, wait a minute.
Ow! Oh, that hurt. Oh, shit.
And then it's done.
You'd be like, oh, you weren't lying. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right.
I am not telling no adult man that I'm a virgin.
That would add some complications to the situation, I believe. But I mean, she's done it, and I mean, she has her ways, and they haven't worked yet. Her methods, her delusion, and we'll see where it gets her. But speaking of delusion, we move on to our next contestant, Miss Deanne.
Deanne is a piece of work.
My name is Deanne. I'm 35 years old, and I have no sexual experience whatsoever.
Deanne is 35. No sexual experience.
None whatsoever.
No boyfriends.
No dates.
However, she is still looking for Mr. Perfect.
So her problem is that she's too picky.
She picky as fuck. It don't make no sense. Anyway.
Her standard is sparkly white men who would not look twice at her if they ever saw her ass in the street.
Because she's a normal white woman.
She's a basic woman.
Yes. But she would not let that stop her. To the point where she even gets mad at her friends for suggesting that, like, hey, maybe you should pick someone who's just like nice and normal. And she's like, how dare you try and stop me from shooting for the stars?
So the thing that is so frustrating about her is that she is embarrassed by her lack of experience.
Yes.
And she clearly carries a lot of shame around not knowing how to do things. But she is the only one who is getting in the way of her having those experiences.
Yes.
Unlike some of the other people, she is constantly being approached. If she wanted a boyfriend, she could have a boyfriend tomorrow.
I don't know why she keeps being approached, but she does.
The point is she is desirable by like European standards.
Or like out west standards, I guess. Because like we open meeting her for the first time. We see them at a bar. And we see two different men approach him.
Which producers might have gave them $5 to go over there.
hey, man, we'll give you $1,500.
They propositioned the men to go over there and say something. But
like,
the
hey,
point
we'll buy you a
is,
beer. Go talk to that girl.
even her friends are saying how she's constantly being approached. And like clearly this lonely dry spell is a choice.
100% a choice. And also like, again, part of her delusion. Because we see one guy in particular approach her. Say, hey, can I get to know you? Can I get your number? And she's like, no, it's good actually.
Sends him on his happy ass way.
And says to her friends, he was like a 2 out of 10, to be honest. And you look at him and you look at her and say, y'all but on the same level.
I can see it. Honestly, y'all could be a couple.
If he was a 5, she's a 6. If that. 5.5, maybe.
She is not willing to let a connection grow. No. She instantaneously needs to feel fireworks and lust and all of this like brewing desire to explore something with someone, which is like, girl, at this point, what you need to do is get that baggage of a virginity out of your life. So that way, when you do find Mr. Perfect, you're not going to be fumbling, looking stupid and foolish.
Yeah.
And you can actually carry a conversation with him. Like,
which any Liam Hemsworth level of man that you meet
ain't checking for your ass, girl.
At the very least, like all the romance stories you hear about is like, she's the plain Jane, but there's just something about her that captivates the man.
She's fine. Like, she's completely fine. She's not.
She seems very dry.
Yeah.
Like appearances or whatever aside, like she's fine, but like, yeah, her social skills seem, again, almost like Solani.
Sure.
Yeah. It seems like her social skills are also stunted by her physical lack of having sex, basically.
Yeah, she says that she wishes she would have just had sex in high school or college so that she would have basically gotten it over with.
Yeah.
Because she feels like it is like inexplicable for her to be at this point in her life and saying something like, I don't know how to do this, or I don't know what to do, I don't know this or that, because it's too late for her to have this lack of experience. But again, she is literally the only thing preventing her from having that experience, because people are approaching her and she's looking down on them. They're all beneath her, essentially. And then we've got our only fella. Alex is 34 years old.
I'm Alex, and I'm a 34-year-old virgin.
He's still living home. He hasn't had a date in 10 to 12 years. The fact that he don't even know. It's the range of 12 years a slave, 12 years a virgin.
Not a slave, you be 40 years a virgin.
It's crazy to me that you've lost track of time at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he feels a lot of shame around not being on his own and not being established financially. We don't know why he lives at home. He hasn't said.
No.
But he feels a lack of desirability, particularly around his
which
late blooming.
I always like come to like an impasse with that like scenario, because on one hand, I'm from this society, from this culture. I understand the marker of adulthood of like, hey, I'm competent. I'm now on my own. I'm now like a competent adult. I've done it. But then in the reality of it, it is kind of weird where like you were raised by these people. They spent their life like getting money, buying a home, getting these resources that like you have free access to. But as a society, we're like, no. Throw that shit away, go struggle on your own, basically.
Go build your own. Yeah.
Exactly. Which, maybe in a world where, you were buying a house for a strong handshake and a paperclip, like back in the 70s or whatever. Like, it made sense to be like, I'm going to go get my own place. Like people, like our parents are like, my parents, my aunt and everything are always like, yeah, like I worked half a summer at the paper bag factory, and like I put myself through college, basically. Like it makes sense to maybe then have your own place.
Yeah.
But in our reality, in our society, in our economy,
it shouldn't be such an indictment on someone.
Exactly. To the point where like that we see Alex is like, that's a big reason for him to say that like I think that's the reason I haven't had sex yet.
And I'm not worthy of it.
And exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not worthy of having
I mean,
sex.
that's very much a cultural thing, right?
It
like
is.
That's not the standard everywhere that you
No.
go. In a lot of places, people don't move out until they get married
Yeah,
and they're
and then-
building something with someone else.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like you get married and you move into the house with us, like my
Yeah.
family, basically. So
Yeah.
it is a very a cultural thing.
It's a
Yeah.
cultural capitalist
Capitalist
thing. That's essentially what it is. Everybody
Yeah.
needs to go and buy their own house to
very-
put money into this market.
Exactly, very individualistic. Because like,
I mean, within our culture, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm not really trying to do no hunching up under
fair,
someone's daddy's roof. Like, I would prefer not to.
understandable. Yeah, but I don't know if, I mean, me being a man is a little different. But like, I don't think I would let that stop me from getting to know someone.
Get you a hotel room. What you mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm saying like even before the sex, I'm saying like
Yeah.
getting to know someone, going on dates,
Yeah.
engaging with them. I don't think that I would let that stop me from like getting to know someone.
Yeah.
A woman is meeting a man who is still living at home, then that stigma is like a lot stronger.
It
'cause,
shows that you're unable to provide,
exactly. Yeah.
which is the biggest failure that you can have
exactly. Yeah.
as a man in our society.
Yeah. Which I mean, like to an extent, it makes sense, but it doesn't really, because like if you're staying at home, you're not paying rent. If you do have a decent income and job and everything,
And financial literacy, which we can
Exactly.
assume Alex doesn't have.
it doesn't seem like he has that. He does seem a little bit. I mean, despite my defense of him being at home, he also seems like he might be a little like emotionally and like maturity stunted.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not defending him staying at home because we live in the society that we live in.
Sure.
34 seems like a pretty big age for you to not be established to some extent. I think
Yeah.
what I'm saying is it doesn't seem like he left home and then came back. It doesn't seem circumstantial. It seems like
he just never
Alex
left.
has been in that attic for his whole life.
And not for financial reasons. He's not like, I'm home because I'm saving up for my $6 million home or whatever.
No, it seems like he is depriving himself of experiences that he wants.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it's unfortunate, but in our society, you got to fund your own life to also have those experiences.
There's that.
And like be able to go ahead and get yourself a haircut and shave your damn eyebrows.
Because I think so. We see him admit that, like, hey, I have like self-confidence issues, and I could see that tying into like, I'm not confident enough to leave my parents' home where like safety is, basically.
Yeah, and do for myself.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's definitely something there. He does. He has like this self-fueling issue, right? Where he's insecure that he doesn't have experience, so then he's scared to pursue an opportunity to get the experience, and thus continues to not have experience. like when a job doesn't hire you because you don't have experience, it's like, well, I need a job to get experience,
It's
right?
all right, man. You ain't got 10 years of, for this paperclip job. You ain't got 10 years of paperclip experience.
Yeah. So, he definitely has some stuff happening there.
Yeah, I mean, and there is a level where he does admit that, like, he had some trauma from high school. Like, he got asked out on a date by a girl. He showed up, and it was just his friend or their friends making fun of him. And I'm sure that experience translated into college, where he also said, I didn't really get a chance to, like, meet anyone like that.
He says he's experienced a lot of rejection.
And it feels like it's just like a compounding effect of that, the no confidence and the rejection.
Listen, I am trying to give as much grace as I can.
Yeah.
But if you are in your 30s referencing anything that happened in high school that wasn't like direct bullying, like that like fucked up your life, I think you gotta move on. I think you need to take your ass to therapy and work through the event where the girl was like mean to you, because it's mean. Like the girl was basically like, do you want to go out, and then set him up to show up and be humiliated because they were all laughing at him. And that doesn't feel good when you're 15 years old. But when you're 34 and explaining that that's the reason why your dick is still dry, I need you to get it together. I do. I'm sorry, babe. I need you to get it together. Stand up. If I was his dating coach, I would give him a hard smack, open palm on the face, a little psh, psh. And I would say, sir, you are 34 years old. Ain't no way you telling me that the reason why you, as a 34-year-old man right now, ain't had sex is because some girl in 11th grade
made you feel bad.
What grade are you in right now?
Yeah. We do see that the real reason for his shortcomings is that that man will freeze up.
He is socially handicapped.
Yes, we see him. We see his sisters
He
who are
goes out
kind of
for
bullying
drinks.
him on their own. They go out for drinks, and his sisters are like, "Hey, go talk to them girls over there and whatnot." And he's like, "All right, cool." To his bushy ass eyebrows.
This man is incapable of carrying a conversation with a woman.
Yes, and in this case, he goes to 3 women and tries to spark a conversation.
What brings you guys here?
Hanging out.
Yeah. Living the dream.
My mind kind of goes blank, and I automatically think, game over.
Kudos to him. That is a hard thing to do for anybody. But the issue is here. He goes to talk to these 3 women, strikes out. I have a big thing with secondhand embarrassment. There's like certain movies I don't want to watch.
You can't deal with it.
Because I'm just watching how, it's like a ball in my chest where I'm like,
it's crazy. You really do be writhing in pain on the
I'm
couch
like,
looking at them turn it off. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. The secondhand embarrassment will take Sammy
It's hard.
out.
It's hard to watch. And it happened here because his sisters, they had good intentions. They're trying to push their little brother
beyond his comfort zone.
They're trying to push him to get his dick wet. They send him back over to the people that he just struck out with, which is a huge no-no. One, for anybody. I don't care how good you are. If you strike out in the first time, unless you got some major just gas behind you,
bro.
Don't ever.
Let that be that. Don't come back.
Don't come back in the same night. If you see him, like, if you go into the club, you strike out on Friday, and you see him again next Thursday, try again, by all means. It's been a whole week.
Yeah.
The same night.
Moments later.
Moments later. So we see him try again.
Yeah.
This time, he tries to single out the one woman that he was potentially interested in.
It goes even worse.
Boy, it goes. How does it get worse? And the issue with him is that he is, and from personal experience, when I was younger, I thought the way to like hit on someone was to like if I meet someone out somewhere, to like try and have an actual like conversation, like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? You like it here? Yada yada. Which like part of that can be true, but in this scenario, you have to be like very purpose driven to be like, hi, my name is Alex.
What do you mean hit on? Like pursue? Like
Approach
a woman?
Establish rapport with someone to get to the point of being like, hey, I'm interested in you.
Yes.
Yeah, for the most part. Like his issue here, he's like, hey, how you doing? What are you like doing? Whatever. Like, don't.
He's
do
making
that.
shit small talk.
Yeah, like he's trying to make small talk when you should be very just like purpose driven and say, my name is Alex. I think you're cute. Can I get your number? And like, can we, you want to go out next time or some bullshit like that. Very like straight to the point.
Straight to the point, yes. But
Yeah.
don't come over here and ask me for my phone number. You need to.
You know what I'm saying.
I don't know
Okay,
what you're
all
saying
right.
because you just said hit on a woman. So that's already confusing.
Is there, or have the kids come up with a new way of
I
saying?
don't know what the kids are talking about. I'm not a kid. I'm saying you should be approaching a woman. The fact that like that's like saying like, oh, how do I pick up a woman? What do you mean? Like,
I think we're splitting hairs. If hitting on someone is what you do, if you're hitting on someone, you can say approaching someone, but like you're still hitting on someone.
I guess. Anyway, what I'm saying.
I didn't like the way you said that.
I don't, and I wouldn't have given you my number.
Okay. All right.
And we wouldn't be here now
Okay.
if that's how you approach me.
Okay,
Anyway, point is that he, as someone who has little ability to carry a conversation, needs to go in with like 5 questions on the top of his head that he could ask someone.
I think our man Alex would short circuit with 3 questions.
It was hard. It was hard to watch. And it's hard because you can see that for him, every interaction is a calculation and a step to like, I need to talk to this girl so that I can ask her for her number so that we can go out and so that I can lose my virginity. Like he has a step-by-step plan as opposed to being able to have interactions with people that he's attracted to.
Yeah. And like, of course the goal is to like lose your virginity, but you can't go into a scenario or a situation with that
With
goal.
the weight of wanting to lose your virginity.
Yeah, like you should go in and be like, I want to have a nice interaction with this person and see where it goes. Like that's how he needs to do it, but he's incapable.
The man desperately needs a makeover. And like 5 or 6 questions that he could ask someone that he happens to meet out in the real world. That's what the man needs.
When we see him interact with like his sisters or like people that he's comfortable with, he seems like a pretty like decent, like somewhat charismatic, like normal
like
guy.
a good guy.
He seems like a normal
He need
guy.
to move out of his mama house.
He needs to move out of the house, trim the eyebrows.
That unibrow need to go.
The beard can't be the same length as your hair.
The hair need to go. We don't need to even be talking about the hair.
Yeah, the hair.
What's left of the hair need to go. He might need a better job so that he can have some more money in his pocket.
That might help too. Yeah, I mean, build a little confidence with some money in your pocket.
But honestly, I look at Alex and I say, I could work with that.
Yeah. If honestly, he'd be like the perfect canvas to be like, we gonna glow you up. We gonna cut the hair.
We're gonna glow you up and we're gonna
Change
get
the
you laid.
wardrobe, and we gonna get you so. We gonna get you so. Yeah. However, all 4 of these people, for the most part, I mean, again, Rasha's kind of the exception, but all of these people we see put so much weight behind the idea of virginity to the point where it is stunting their lives.
Yeah, which
Like,
goes back to your question
goes
of
to the
like,
question.
can we evolve beyond the concept of virginity?
Exactly. And I don't know if we can. I definitely think we should. Because again, it puts so much weight on something that is so inconsequential.
You're
to your
building an
actual
identity
life.
around something you haven't done.
Yeah. Which is, if we did it in any other context, it would be like silly. It's like, you know what? I mean, certain things like, hey, I haven't driven a car yet. I don't know how to drive. So therefore.
But you don't build an identity around that.
No. Yeah. You don't walk in and be like, hi, I don't have a driver's license. Do you like me?
And I think that like sexual experiences are formative for us.
Yeah.
And your first experience
Mm-hmm.
should be something that you are consenting to.
Yes.
Should be something that is based off of mutual respect and should be something that you can learn from.
Yeah,
And
and
that's
hopefully enjoyable, But
Yeah.
even if not, it should be like a safe and like educational and like like you said, a formative experience to an extent.
And if you go in informed with some protection, this is an experience that you've had,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an experience that you've chosen,
Yeah,
and that's kind of it.
basically. Which like it kind of goes to the point where I think we are causing a lot of people to go into these scenarios very ill-equipped because as a country we have shit sex education, and we have a very like still puritanical way of thinking about like sex in general,
Especially when it comes to women.
it's yeah 100%, like where it's like you should, again, in like the situation with Solani, you should hold this thing so sacred, so tight, put so much importance behind it as a way of like control for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Mhm.
I
And value. That
And
is where
value,
your
yeah.
value comes from.
exactly
Because you are pure, you are
Mhm,
untainted,
mhm, mhm.
and you are then more desirable because
Yeah.
no man has defiled you, essentially. Like, often the concept of virginity is
Mhm.
more closely tied to women
Yeah,
and sanctity
Mhm,
and
mhm.
cleanliness
yeah,
than it is to men.
yeah. To the point where it's like I can be, as a woman, I can be a virgin and like have more value.
Mhm.
Whereas a man, if I'm a virgin, I have less value.
Because you're expected to have
Exactly.
defiled some women.
Which is it's such a weird paradoxical thing.
because who
like,
are you defiling
and
then?
exactly. Like
Not virgins.
Where is my experience coming from?
Right. If not.
I'm not like having sex, and if I'm having sex, if I'm heterosexual, I'm having sex with a woman.
Who is this woman?
Who is this woman?
Do you know who that woman is?
Oh,
She is the worthless
a
whore.
harlot.
She is not the woman
Yeah.
who has saved herself
mm-hmm.
and preserved her purity.
She's someone who's not worthy of getting married and being married to, building a family with. Like we push those women to the other parts of society, and like we demean them, whereas we hold up the holy white virgins and whatnot.
Which is funny because that's not even really applicable now. Like,
What do you mean?
the grown men that we see in these shows
Mhm.
are hesitant to be involved with a virgin.
Oh yeah.
They don't want the responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to have to do the teaching.
Yeah.
They don't want to have to
Like
approach.
the pressure of like being someone's first and like potentially not doing it right,
Yep.
and then scarring someone.
Yeah.
Like it's like that's a lot of weight to put on someone. Like on one hand, it is inconsequential. But on the other hand, like, yeah, it is if someone has put a lot of weight behind this experience, that's a lot of weight put on you as the person taking that from them for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, I really, as someone who was a late bloomer,
How late, baby?
Hey, baby. So I lost my virginity at 23, which isn't like super late, but like, most people that I know, most of my peers was, 18, 16, 15. So it's later than a lot of people. And the reasons behind it, now that I look back at it, I'm like, well, that was dumb as fuck.
Well, your
Uh-huh.
choice was religiously motivated.
It was religiously motivated, but again, looking back on it now and like where I am, and also like having a deeper dive like on my understanding of religion at that point, and like recognizing that my religious upbringing like led to me taking on these ideas not for myself, but like for the approval of others. And like the idea that like this is gonna mean something somehow. And as you get older, you're like, this doesn't really mean anything.
It didn't serve you. It
didn't-
didn't serve
no.
you anymore.
It didn't serve me. And like when I look back at it, I'm like, damn, I should have been a whore.
I mean, that's kind of what your youth is for, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I think of me going through college at a HBCU, no less.
And you was fine back then too.
I had a
With your little six-pack of abs,
six-pack,
that
boy,
tight little
beard
booty.
coming in. My ass was fat, legs.
All them muscles.
Boy, I could. Ooh, boy, I would have been a pride.
I would have took you down.
I would have been a menace.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, I'm God's strongest soldier, dog. I no, you can't make me break. Yeah. Which again, if someone, I always say, like, if someone had pushed hard enough, I would have broke. Cause like Rasha, like I was a horny little demon and whatnot.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing nothing about it, but it was there.
Yeah.
But if someone had pushed hard enough, I would have broke. But it goes back to that same thing we kind of see Alex do, where it feels like such a weight, and when I mention it to people, it like turns them off for the most point.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part.
I was like, ain't no way.
Yeah, like I had people that was like, you know, hey, like I like you and I want you, but like
I ain't doing all that.
I'm not trying to fuck a virgin. I'm not trying to what? I'm not trying to do all that.
Yeah.
And then it became such a weight on me where it's like, damn, like this is just part of my identity for the most part. Like everyone's like, hey, there's Sam. He real cool and whatnot. He a virgin.
Your
bro.
virgin ass.
He a virgin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So like having that experience, knowing what it feels like to be like perceived as like the late bloomer, as someone like missing something, and then thinking about what was it for? Like what was I going to get out of this experience of like waiting till marriage? Like I think the weight that we put behind it as a society, and me as a man, again, there is like that stigma, but it's less damaging to me in general. Especially when it comes to women, like the idea that like your virginity has to be held on to. It's sacred. And if you don't hang on to it, then you are a failure. You're
a moral
impure.
failure.
You're
Yes,
impure. You're dirty. Like all these things that we ascribe to this like thing. It's I think it's very outdated. It's very damaging. And I think we should get rid of it. I know that's like to a lot of people, it seems like a very like formative and like important concept to hang on to, but I think once we really break it down and ask people who are, I feel like most people who are hanging on to that like concept, it is coming from a more religious side
standpoint, yeah, and it serves them in that way. I mean, I think if we're gonna hang on to virginity as a concept, I think that what should be happening is that we should at least be applying it evenly. Like it should have the same weight for women that it does for men.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I think if we're gonna hang on to it, we should try and like change. I think we should try and change it. Like I know, you know, it has been more unevenly applied to women and it's more damaging, but I think if we're going to hang on to it, we should try and change like what it means. I think to me, if I'm going to use the word virgin or virginity, it's just a description of someone who has not yet had sex, and that's it. It's not like a, hey, like you're
but then
more
we're not
pure.
keeping the concept. The concept is around.
Oh, I guess mine is changing the concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, I don't know. It was never like a huge deal to me. It was something that I like was able to discern that I wanted to have that experience with someone who cared about me, and someone that I felt safe with. But it was also like, I want it to be a pleasurable experience, and I want to have a say in how it goes. I'm thinking about you telling, like, even telling me, right? Like back when we were in school and you telling me like, oh yeah, I'm a virgin, and being like, ooh, as your friend. And that brings me back to my question, which is like, should we be expected to confess our sexual history early in
or
dating?
lack thereof.
Yeah, or lack thereof
Yeah.
early on in dating, right? Like the stupid ass question of like how many bodies you got, or like having to disclose that you're a virgin. To me, that seems so invasive, and it doesn't seem productive. Like if you're getting to learn, if you're getting to know someone and having an experience of learning someone, it should be a conversation, not a confession. Like if you feel like you have to confess,
it's a problem.
It's a problem.
It's a problem. Yeah. It's a problem for you and the person who's like you're confessing to, if you felt like they are the one coercing this confession from you. Because again, like I fully support like talking about sex. Like if you are comfortable with someone and you're having a conversation where you're talking about...
If you plan on having sex, you should definitely be able to talk about sex.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Which I mean, to an extent, that might be where porn can come in, where it's like, I don't have this, but I can at least like talk around this thing, you know?
I mean, you don't have to be explicit, but you should be able to have conversations about sex before you have sex with the person.
And I mean, I don't know what it should be, but like it can be fun, it can be informative, it can be educational, it can be any of these things.
It can be about your preferences. It can be about some of your sexual history, some of your past experiences, but it shouldn't be
a confession.
It shouldn't be like, oh, I'm nervous to tell this man that I've been with X amount of people, or that I haven't had sex at all,
or that I'm gonna lie. You know, I mean, we have so many like pieces of media, music, and everything where we say like, you know, hey, like I know this person's probably lying. Like I forget what J. Cole song it is, but it's like, you got to multiply by 3. If someone says like, hey, I've been with 5 people, and he's like, well, got to multiply by 3.
Right.
And it's like, that's damaging.
Then
like,
why are we even having this conversation if you
Exactly.
don't trust what I'm saying? If you can't take what I'm saying to you at face value, then why are we even having this conversation?
Exactly.
Yeah, we should be able to talk about STI testing. We should be able to talk about preferences. We should be able to talk about kinks and desires and our fantasies. We should be able to have all of those conversations, but the framing of it as a confession of like, oh no, I'm gonna tell this person this thing and they might not even want me anymore.
Reject me. Yeah.
Is a problem.
Exactly. Which again, I think that being a problem is directly tied to the concept of virginity, like being this thing. Like you're either like if virginity is a spectrum or it's on the spectrum somewhere, it's like on one end, and then like just being a fucking trash whore harlot is on the other end. It's like the closer you are to being a virgin, the better.
Right. But at this day and age, I don't want you to be a virgin.
No.
Because I want you to have experience and I want you to know what you're doing when it comes time for you to please me as a man.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to teach you that. But I also don't want you to be a virgin.
Make up your mind.
Unless it's within a particular religious
Yeah.
construct, which is much more rare. And even with these 4 people, what we're seeing is not religion. What we're seeing is circumstance.
Circumstance, culture, upbringing, like all these other parts of society that are still tied to this concept that, is very damaging to these people.
And what we're seeing is a lot of shame around their virginity.
A lot of shame. A lot of like a sense of not belonging, a sense of exclusion, unworthiness.
Yeah, FOMO. They wish they was fucking, and they're not.
Which is so funny because like I hate seeing people who put so much weight behind it, and then like when it actually happens, you're like, oh,
it's such a disappointment. Imagine being 42 years old, 42 years grown,
and you're like, oh boy, when it happens, that's gonna be fireworks.
Because it takes years to start having good sex for a lot of women, particularly.
Yeah.
To know what you want, to know how to communicate what you want,
to be good at it,
to find other ways. Penetrative sex isn't the most pleasurable sex or the most like likely to lead to orgasm for many women. It takes a long time to figure out what it is that you like and how to get your rocks off.
Exactly.
So now you're not doing that till you 52. You half a century old before you figured out what sex is for you.
Yeah. And again, if for it being your first time, like one, especially for women, it's most likely not going to be the most amazing thing. It's going to be
painful.
Like the movies and the books, they be doing y'all dirty.
They be lying, bro. They be lying.
Like, oh,
you feel like
man.
you're going to shit yourself. That anal pressure is a real thing.
Oh, man, but he deflowered me and it was so...
Deflowered indeed. Ran through that garden. I remember being so confused my first time. Like,
what the fuck is this?
What is happening with my butthole?
You might want to see a doctor about that. I don't know.
No, there's
if that's your experience,
so
let us know.
close.
If your butthole was was screaming, let us know in the comments.
The pressure.
Yeah, but I kind of hate this for them because, I mean, more so for the women because, I mean, we have 3 women.
Yeah.
But yeah, the experience, unless they have someone who is a very understanding, very gracious, very patient partner who is going to like to go at a speed that they are completely comfortable with, it's not going to be a great first time for the most part. It might not be bad, but it's not going to be the stars aligning.
And there's definitely a spectrum here. Like for a woman who's at least masturbated, she's prepared.
Yeah.
Sonali, her first time,
that
girl in for it. She done set herself up for the okie doke.
Even if it is good, she's going to be like, what is this? What's going on?
We shall see.
We'll see. Yeah.
Let us know in the comments how you're thinking about virginity, the concept, if you have to disclose it.
Yeah. If you're still a virgin and if you don't want to be anymore, tell us about it. I mean, we might know someone to hook you up with. We'll let you know.
Join us next time for more messy looks into love, dating, and relationships. Let's see how things unfold with all of our virgins, how they're able to take steps towards these sexual experiences that they desire.
Kicking that thing to the curb. We gonna see.
Remember, we are here for the drama.
Here for the mess.
But it's all love.
Please like and subscribe here on YouTube. If you like this show and you're listening to us on a podcast platform, please give us a rating and a stellar review on Apple Podcasts and or Spotify. We are still in our beginning stages, so every like, comment, share, view helps us bring you guys some more awesome content.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from y'all. Hit us up with your dating experiences, your virginity experiences, and lovers questions at loverswatchpodcast@gmail.com.
Bye, y'all.
See you next time.